What up, what up, what up? Welcome to the Words with Wade podcast, episode 133. I had to look at that. Yeah, I totally. I was like, hold on, what the fuck episode is this? Of course, I'm your host, Wade Blogs, a.k.a. Mr. Quid Pro Quo, a.k.a. The...
Wait for it.
Wade Blogs. You know what's funny? And Unconditioned, y'all haven't seen this yet because we're getting it edited. The video of when I do that and like everybody's looking around waiting for me to say the rest is pretty hilarious.
Yeah, I just gotta sit here and ignore him. It just feels really strange.
And joining me, shit, we still don't have things for Scan. We gotta come up. Gee,
It's Scan.
Scan is here.
I'm here.
Scan is here, y'all. G's working on something for her. I'll figure something out. We'll figure, because we can't go with the obvious. We do this every week. Like, we can't go with Scandalous one.
No, I'm here.
Scan's here, y'all.
I'm here.
I need a Serato. I don't know why I didn't have that when you was here last week, G, with the sound effects. And of course, live on location, back in Wakanda, Zamunda, Tanzania, Zimbabwe, Mozambique, Botswana.
Not Tanzania.
G is here, ladies and gentlemen. G is live on location.
Shit.
So, this is the last episode for 2019, the final episode of the decade. I wish we had like a decade of episodes to look back on and say, hey, remember we just started this? We don't.
He said we don't.
We don't. But, you know, we did miss last week. So, even though I can't share my experience, I'm going to ask y'all, how was your holiday time?
It was nice. You know, spend time with the kids. You know, and then moms came over. That was wonderful. You know, we just kept it pretty simple. The kids were happy with what they got. It was just nice to relax and, you know, take in the good vibes of you know, the season. So
Good.
yeah. No complaints.
What about you, G? How was your holiday?
I was exhausted, aggravated, but overall, good time.
You know what, G? I do want to say this, and I'm going to say this on the air. I want to commend you because, and I guess we can't take it for granted, especially me, because I'm in a similar situation where we have custody of our children. However, my kids are a little older than yours. And they're kind of, at this point, kind of self-sufficient. You have young kids, and you have to take them from scrap, and that's a tremendous thing. So I want to say that in front of the nation, how much I respect and appreciate that from you, G.
I appreciate that, bro. Thank you.
That's a huge thing. Yeah, I couldn't imagine me having my girls at that age. I'd probably die. I'd die like.
Yeah, it can be a bit hectic.
That 6 o'clock, that 6 a.m. bedtime and that 7:30 wake up was me.
I can imagine. No, I still get up that early, but like I said, I get them up and I can go back to sleep. Like, you're up. You're up.
Yeah,
you gotta
like
do everything.
I was up. That wasn't nothing I could do about it. And then I'm just getting pulled at from every angle. Well, can you set this up? Can you fix this? Well, what is this? Let's do. Okay.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And it won't. Yeah, it won't just from them. It was like from the family. Like when I'm trying to set up something for the kids, like, you know, my mom and my sister, my grandma. Like somebody was asking me to do something else for them, and it's just like I was just getting pulled in every direction.
Yeah, that's
overall, everything, you know, turned out fabulous.
And man, that's a tremendous thing, and I want to salute you, brother. We don't do that. You're funny. We don't do that enough, so I want to salute you for that, because I was actually on the 25th. I was looking at the pictures you posted, and I just started thinking, like, yo, how would I be if I had my kids at that age? I'd be a mess.
And you think that now, but you know.
And I got girls too, so it's different. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, like that's totally different.
that's a completely different situation. Like, I remember when my daughter first had her period, like, and how I was tripping
over the fact that she had her period.
Yeah, I was tripping, and she had called me, and I was her first phone call.
Oh,
so I felt good about that. She called me in school. Hey, Dad.
Hey, Dad.
I'm there.
This happened.
Yeah, and maybe I'm there. Now I can imagine if that would happen at home, and there was no like mom to go to. It's all me. Man, I feel that way now with my kids. Like, they don't have a mom. Well, they do, but whatever. They don't have a woman to go to like that. It's just kind of me. So gotcha. I feel that way now. But I did want to say that because I think I always see a lot of, especially during this time of the year, you always see a lot of people giving credit to single mothers for making it happen, or doing what they do just to make Christmas happen for people. So I wanted to make sure I said that to you, G, because you do take care of your business, and I appreciate that.
Me too, damn it. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. I thought I'd be part of the Me Too crowd.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that.
Anytime somebody says something positive or, try to give credit somewhere, they're be like, me too,
Yeah, me too. I gave credit too.
Me too.
So, as a lot of y'all know, I didn't do anything, and I'm going to leave it at that because I get y'all emails too, so I'm not going to talk about what I talk about normally at this time. Because they get sick of me talking about that, so I'm going to leave it alone. So let's get into, of course, what we like to call the rundown. The rundown. So the big news of the week, Drake did an interview with Rap Radar. And listen, because I'm a blogger and I have a website, uncutmagazine.net, I normally don't plug other websites, other blogs. I always say go to Uncut Magazine. But y'all know, y'all follow me long enough why I hate doing interviews. I hate people. So interviews are difficult for me.
I hate people.
I do. I hate people. So interviews are difficult for me. But this was a classic interview. Not in just the candidness of Drake, because I feel like he answered most of the questions in an honest manner, but just the way they propositioned each question, the way they got the information from him. It didn't seem like an interview. It felt like a conversation.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's just, if you want to interview people, I would suggest you go study that interview, because that's a great interview. But enough of that. Let's get into what we learned from the interview. And before we get into the clickbait, before we get into the clickbait of the interview, because I know everybody want to talk about the push part, let's get into everything else. G.
Yeah, I didn't even, unfortunately, I didn't get to finish watching the interview. I literally still have it up on screen. But so far, I've been enjoying the interview. To be quite honest, I appreciate how transparent Drake was in the interview. One of the main things is how, even though him and Ye, are at odds, he still gave his credit for anything that Ye did that inspired him. Like, to me, that's commendable. Just between the stories that he told and filling in the gap, so to speak, not being afraid to relive and let everybody know, like, hey, when I first got, y'all look at me as Drake now, but back then it was just like, hey, I was just some light-skinned kid.
Yeah, he said it a couple times.
Like when he was telling the story about when, right before Wayne got locked up, and he was saying Wayne never pressured him to create a certain way, or this is how we work over here, just basically do what whatever your normal process is. And he was like, my normal process is I need 40 here. And he said his assistant that, of 10 years, but at the time it was, his job was to watch over the money. He was like, so why are we going to just flood this light-skinned boy's homeboy out here when we got engineers and producers here? Like, that don't make no fucking sense. But, like, going from, I guess, stories from that, just like he was a no-name, no power, no voice, to where he is now. He just, like, it's a great story. It's like a coming-of-age story. Like, so far, what I've been watching, I've been enjoying.
I mean, it made me...
The point that he touched on of the artist's breakout moment, like the who is that moment. Like, you riding in the car with somebody and you playing a song, and whoever's in the car with you is like, who is that? And he was like, new artists need to understand you gotta live in that moment. Like, that's the highest of your career. Like, you're gonna be chasing that high. The thing that's so funny about it, I literally know that moment because I was in the car with somebody and I was playing the So Far Gone album, and they literally was like, who is that? I was like, that's Drake. And I started playing more and more songs, and they was just like, this shit is dope. Like, I like it. And it was a female. That's what makes it even funnier. So when he goes into he was like, he was like making music for the chicks. And it was like, I felt like it was the weirdest thing you could do. I just don't want to make music for a bunch of dusty niggas.
Right. Yeah, I do remember him saying that. Yeah.
Yeah, like, everything he said was true. I literally have a moment where I'm in the car with a female and I'm playing Drake, and she's like, who is that? And I told her who it was. And she asked for the CD. And I was like, yeah, you can have it. Like, I'll just make another copy. And that was the moment he was describing. Like, that shit hit 100% nail on the head. So, like you said, it's a classic interview. Like, it is anybody who, whether you like Drake or not, you should watch the interview. I'll say that, because it might give you a new appreciation for Drake. For fans of Drake, it'll let you see a different side of him or understand him more. It's just a great interview.
It's a class in interviews. Like, just watch the interaction and how they disarm him. They ask him the questions they want to ask, and he answers them in mostly an honest way. Not in the... What I hate about interviews is always when rappers give you the rapper talk. Like, you ask them a question, they be like, well, you know what it is, you know what I'm saying? You know what it is, son. You know what it is, B. You know how I go. Like, that shit annoys the fuck out of me. So
like, that's why I said he was, like, completely transparent.
Yeah.
Like, it's just... He wasn't afraid to be vulnerable with answering the questions. Like, I don't care how y'all look at me, this is the honest answer. One of my little sisters from HU is a publicist. Excuse me, a journalist, I'm sorry. So she would prep us before interviews, like, just randomly ask us questions, see how we responded, point out things that, we shouldn't do, repetitive words we use, things like that. I felt like in this interview, Drake was like, fuck it, I'm just going to be candid. Like, I'm not going to give the typical interview. Like, you ask me something, I'm going to answer it, period. Like, fuck how it's supposed to be perceived for my brand or my career or whatever. I'm going to give you the honest answer. Like, just ask whatever you want to ask.
But I'm glad he did that, and I hope that starts more of a trend going forward. More people just being honest, being candid. I mean, the whole 2020 thing, I know we can nail that in the ground 1,000 times, but let's be more candid next year. Let's just be more honest about our feelings and what's going on. Now, I do agree with you where it gave me a new respect for Drake. I think it made me just look at him as a person. You know what I mean? And I think that's something I guess is understated because we look at artists like artists. He raps, that's it, cut him off, and you never think about him again. But I think in this interview, it showed his humanity. Some of the things he said and some of the things he didn't say, I noticed. Like it's a couple times where he stuttered over. I guess he wanted to say his son's name or somebody's son, but he kind of. If you notice, like at the beginning of the interview, the very beginning of the interview, when he said he lives in the house by himself, he said, "I live by myself, but I live by myself." Like he wanted to say somebody else, but he just.
I noticed that too.
Yeah,
he wanted to mention that somebody else was in the house.
Yeah,
but he caught himself.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm not mad. He has his right to privacy, so But let's get into some of the other things I learned. He said he considers So Far Gone and Take Care, both of those his classic albums. I never liked Take Care.
I haven't listened to the whole album. I'm gonna be honest. I told you I don't do the whole album thing. I'm a real simple woman. Like I like to pick a station on Pandora and it plays my shit. But I like some of his singles though. I'll give you that. Some of his singles are pretty poppin'. Gets me grooving in the bar. I have to agree with that. The Drake does make kind of like chick music.
Yeah.
Something that we can kind of understand and relate to. Trying to give the guy's side of you, I guess. Side of view.
The emotional guy side.
The emotional view, which don't really believe exists. But anyway, but I don't listen to full albums, so I can't really say much more on that.
Like I said, I didn't like Take Care. I wasn't a big fan of Take Care. So Far Gone, yeah. Nothing Was the Same was the one for me. I thought that was his classic album. What about you, G? What did you think about his classics?
Well, So Far Gone, of course, is classic. I still feel like that's one of the best works in his catalog, truthfully. That's my opinion. But, Take Care is widely acknowledged by a lot of people as his overall best album. I enjoyed Take Care, I'm not gonna lie. Take Care was a very solid album. The thing that kind of tripped me out was in the interview, he said that Thank Me Later is like the weakest project in his catalog, and I enjoyed Thank Me Later. I thought it was dope.
But I think looking at it,
like, he just feels like he had too much influence on it. Like it wasn't really his to control. It didn't have those personal touches or whatever. So I'll go out on the limb and say I think Take Care is what he wanted Thank Me Later to be.
I can understand that.
If he was able to do it his way. A lot of people forget on Take Care, he has Kendrick on it. And that was before Kendrick really got to the star status that he has. Initially, Kendrick was not credited on the song. He's on the Buried Alive joint.
Right.
I think it's like number 6 or number 7. It's like right after Marvin's Room. But so it's a lot. Like Lord Knows is on the album. Like it's a couple great songs on there.
Yeah, like you said, I think people widely accept Take Care as probably one of his best albums. But just to me personally, I felt like Nothing Was the Same. It's probably one of his best projects. I feel like maybe Started From the Bottom is a bit annoying, but that's just because you heard it everywhere.
You heard it just
what I'm saying?
over
you heard
and over
that
and over
everywhere.
Again.
But other than that, it's a solid project from top to bottom. But I guess I gotta go back and listen to Take Care because I hear a lot of people talk about Take Care. I'm just not maybe that part. Sometimes in your life, things happen and you're like, hey, I'm not into this music at this point. When you go back and listen to it, it might be a little better. Maybe that part of my life I wasn't feeling take care. I have to go back and check it out. He also
he had the Shot For Me, the Crew Love joint that featured The Weeknd, the Take Care joint with Rihanna, Marvin's Room, of course, the biggest single, the Lord Knows joint, Rick Ross. Like he had some things on that album.
Yeah. Now, of course, he also addressed the whole, ghostwriting thing. And he says, and I'm going to quote him here. He says, I pull my weight when it comes to my pen. Anybody that knows me knows that's my strongest talent is writing. That's why people ask me to write songs for them.
Okay.
I guess because we heard the reference tracks, like they leaked, so we know he got someone to write those songs. And I think if you're not even write them, it would help. Let's say help him with those songs. And I think when it comes to hip hop, and maybe this is an older generation thing, and maybe G, you can speak to this. When you're going for the crown, you can't have things like that in your catalog, because we expect if you're the best rapper alive, then you have to be the best rapper. You don't get coached. Rakim never had somebody coach him. Jay never had, you know what I'm saying?
I kind of felt like that about, I don't know if you feel that way because it's just rap in general, but like all people who are like Beyonce fans, like she doesn't write half of her shit either.
I feel
and
that
for
way
me, like, I feel like for her to be put on this platform of being such like an amazing artist, now don't get me wrong, she's a wonderful performer. Like, I can give it to her for the amount of money that she's charging. Like, it's a great show. You know what I mean? She does put on a great performance. She can sing. But I would expect for her to also be writing her own music. Now, I'm sure there's some songs she might write on her own, but from my understanding, a lot of that is other people writing songs for her. Yeah. And for me, it's hard for me to really understand or relate to you because I don't feel like that's your story.
Exactly.
It's somebody else's story. You know what I mean? You sing it great. Appreciate it that you delivered it in the fashion that you did. But I can't really relate to it as much to you as the individual who's singing it because I feel like that's somebody else's story that you're telling.
And I think with hip hop, it's different because we have a more personal connection with the artist. So we then look at it like, if I bought into these feelings and these emotions, just to find out that's not even your feelings and your emotions.
I think that's still, like you said, it kind of runs the same thing.
Yeah,
it feels like you're not really telling your own story.
Right.
You're telling somebody else's story.
Now,
and there's nothing wrong with being a storyteller. There's nothing wrong with that.
We have artists, we have rappers that do that. I mean, Puff doesn't write. Diddy doesn't write.
Right.
You know, we have rappers.
But we also don't put Puffy up there as like one of these top hip hop rappers.
And that's the point.
Right.
That's the point. We have a bunch of these. Go ahead.
It's a different understanding between hip hop versus R&B. And I think that's kind of where the lines got blurred.
Toggling the lines.
with Drake, because any R&B artist will tell you, even if they're writing their own music, like, they have input. A lot of hip-hop artists actually have input. Like, whether you believe it or not, ultimately they'll probably just go with their final decision of however they feel about the track. But sitting in the studio working on the song and you're writing your verse, it's very common for a hip hop artist to be like, "Yo, let me know how this sound."
Right.
And they'll spit what they have so far and wait for the reactions, wait for the input, and it'll be a conversation. Be like, all right, well, I was thinking about going this way with it, or somebody might be like, well, change this line or emphasize it a different way. So I don't. To be 100% honest, any artist in any genre that says they don't have any input on their music, they're fucking lying. Flat out. I don't believe any artist that says that, because every artist does. Anytime you ask somebody how something sounds, or you play a song, even if you recorded the whole song by yourself, wrote the whole song by yourself, and nobody was present, but you play it for somebody else for their reaction, that's you
looking for input.
But see, input is different from someone writing it for you.
Right,
with,
yeah.
With the writing portion of it, to have somebody write it for you, and you recite it, yeah. In hip hop, that's frowned upon. In R&B, that's perfectly acceptable. They do that. They've been doing that for years.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of where the lines got blurred with Drake, with the whole ghostwriting thing. With if he's doing singing, like if it's a whole R&B song and The Weeknd wrote it, but he's singing it, that's technically an R&B joint, so it wasn't, nobody Ghost wrote it. That's a reference track. That's how they worked in the R&B world. Now, for somebody to write your bars for you, nah, that's complete. That's in the hip hop world, that's completely unacceptable. That's frowned upon. You can't do that.
And
so
we've heard the reference.
I guess whatever context that somebody pinned something for him, we've had this conversation like a couple of times. Like Drake is, you can't put him in that category, so to speak. You can't put him in that mold.
I think this is going to haunt Drake for his entire career, because there's no way around it. From now on, we never know. You know, we've heard the reference tracks from Quentin Miller. We've heard stuff from Quentin, so we know that, hey, Quentin wrote these things, and he's admitted himself Quentin helped him with these things. So now we just don't know. He can come out with a song tomorrow, and I have to wonder, hey, did Quentin help you with this? And to be categorized one of the greats of hip hop, you can't have that blemish on your record. That's when we look at Jay-Z, or when we look at a Nas, or we look at Rakim, or whoever you look at, they don't have those blemishes. They don't have or did he write this? Matter of fact, those people wrote for other people.
Right.
Hell, Nas wrote Getting Jiggy With It. Come on now.
Just how you said it.
Like
Nas wrote Getting Jiggy With It.
That's you know what I'm saying? They write for other people. They don't have that, somebody wrote for them. So that's something that's going to haunt Drake forever. And I don't think there's nothing he can do to get rid of that. So just deal with it. Now, I did want to mention, of course, let's go ahead and get into the thing, because I know you have Scan has a heart out here. So he mentioned Push. And let's be honest about it. I should pause that, huh? My fault. Pause. I just thought about that. Pause. Let's mention this. We are a Virginia-based podcast. We're in Virginia. Push is from Virginia. With that being said, we're not being biased, because a lot of people, they're going to say that, y'all in Virginia, so y'all
going to support him.
No, let's just be honest about this. Matter of fact, do I have the clip? Let's see if I have the clip. I can play it really quick, because I wanted y'all to hear his voice when he said these things. It's very important to me. If we can make sure we get it with no issues here.
I tip my hat to the chess move. I mean, it was a genius play in the game of chess, and definitely, warranted my first quote unquote, loss in the competitive sport of rapping, by choice, obviously, because I bowed out after realizing like the gap between us allowed him to drop, a bomb on the world that really became that was all anyone cared about. I sleep well at night knowing I didn't get outbarred, and I didn't get dunned off by some crazy song it was just he told the world that the biggest artist at the time has a kid that he hasn't told you about. So I knew kind of for me it was over at that point. It wasn't even about battle rap or any of that. It was just the information was too.
Okay. He also goes on to say, and let me just make sure I quote him. He says, some people like some people like his music. I personally don't, because I don't believe any of it.
Just get right to it, why don't you?
Listen, Drake, Aubrey, my guy. You lost. You lost. It happens. Shit. I hate that he tried to minimize it. Like, hey, obviously I took a loss because I accepted it. Like, no. You lost. Just take your L and go. Nobody stuck up for Meek when you was bullying Meek. When you were playing
very
back
true
1,000 times
as you was beating him with a whole sandbag.
Yeah, so just take your L and go. You know what I'm saying?
Smacked him around a few times. Poor guy was looking real confused too, wasn't he? At first, Meek was just like, "But what did I do?" Like
nobody said anything. You had all these Meek Mill memes, and you booked the hotel room over Meek and played back to back 1,000 times through the night.
Right.
Nobody said anything. So don't you sit here coming bitching because he told something that nobody else knew. Yes, you are hiding a child, which is probably one of the most disrespectful rap lines in the history. Second to, that's why I fucked your bitch, you fat motherfucker.
Ooh.
Listen, that's going to go down in history. You can say that out of context anywhere and people will know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I could walk into church and be like, you are hiding a child. And they be like, yo. Yo, that's that Drake shit.
You are hiding a child.
People know where that comes from. He just looks bad trying to cover this up. Like, hey, well, obviously I didn't want to do it because we're just so... No, dog, you lost.
You lost.
Stop trying to make it look good. Stop trying to put fancy, colorful words around it. Take your L. It happens. Jay lost to Nas. Jay will tell you he lost to Nas. But it happens. He took his L. Jay said, hey, what did he say? Ether made me stronger. Take your L and move on.
It's okay. You're still famous.
Yeah, you're still Drake.
You're still Drake.
And if we're being honest about it, I don't know too many people who stop listening to Drake because of that. We look at him a little differently. We're like, hey, man, you pretty fucked up. Because that's all.
You wouldn't tell nobody about your baby.
You know, he called him a deadbeat dad. He called him all types of shit. It's pretty funny. So we looked at him a certain way, but hey, your music still rocks, so
right.
It is what it is. It is what it is. Stop minimizing that loss.
Yeah, to be quite honest, I think that actually gave him a couple more fans, truthfully. Because some people that was just probably listening to me was just like, that hadn't listened to Drake or hadn't been paying no attention might have stepped over there and like, so who is this dude that he talking about?
Yeah. I hate the fact that he pushes the narrative that Push gained a career off of that. Push was a successful rapper before then. And once again, we're not being biased. We're just trying to call it straight down the line here. Like, dude, you lost. It happens. Nobody's undefeated.
Can't always be first.
And then the follow-up to this was he talks about the Meek beef. And he says Serena Williams gave him the advice on Meek. Which is funny, but I'm going to read the quote here.
What?
Yeah. He says, and... You know, I went to public school system, so forget my reading. We have been talking a lot about her and Maria Sharapova going back and forth over the years. And she made this comment to me. She said, if you're going to go again, you got to finish it. And, you know, she's a top competitor, so she was like, you got to finish it. I'm talking about done, over. It's got to be something that everyone hears and says, oh, he's done.
Right.
So, put that same logic to... You were hiding a child. That's the name of the song now. You were hiding a child. What's the problem? This is what always irked me about this situation. Like, you just did the same thing to Meek that was done to you. Take it and move on. You look petty now. You look bad. If anybody had a question about if Pusha won, you see now Push, because it's still on his mind. He's still salty about this.
Right.
Push won. Push not thinking about this shit no more.
He's definitely not.
We just moved on. He's still talking about this shit. He's really upset.
Hey, Drake, if you ain't first, You're last. Deal with it.
So
It's okay, man. Can't win them all.
Yeah, I'm about to say you took an L, homie.
Yeah, just take
It is what it is.
just
It
take
is
the
what
L.
it is. You still rocking. And you're the only one that was still talking about that.
Exactly.
Thanks for giving us something to talk about. Appreciate you.
Exactly. I love it. Keep talking about it. I'm talking about some more.
Right.
But dog, there's no way around it. Even
Like
if
you said, that's the funny part, that it keeps coming up.
And by him.
that's the funny part. He keeps bringing it up.
So that's how we know it bothers you, because you keep bringing it up. And the interviewer didn't ask him a question about it.
Well, it did. But he expounded on it in such a way that you had to say, okay, well, let's sit down and talk about it.
Honestly,
Yeah.
it just really sounded like he didn't know how to put it in words. It doesn't sound obvious of him just basically saying, fuck him, because he lost.
wanted to say that.
It's really what he wanted to say. He's like, fuck him. How about that? I don't want to talk about it.
He's clearly still mad at Push. Without a question. He still has some feelings towards the Push.
Right.
Yeah, like literally, hey, look, you just under that. Hey, it's rap. You win some, you lose some.
Yep.
Exactly. Just take it and move on.
But
man.
he again, I didn't finish watching the interview. I just got to see that clip when he was talking about. He was like, "Oh yeah, it was just so much of it's no, once he released that." It was now about the information. It wasn't about the bars, and I don't feel like I got out-barred. It was like, anytime you, in a rap battle, the main ammo is the information that you can bring to light about your opponent. And that's why everybody's always trying to dig up skeletons in the closet before they battle somebody or trying to find out information or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That's part of what it is. It's like, okay, he dropped that about you, and what was your rebuttal? You didn't have one. You got out-barred.
Exactly. You got out-barred. Let it go, B. You lost. It happens. It happens.
Yeah,
all
like
the time.
he even said, it was a hell of a chess move. Yeah, when that's what it is. This shit is chess. And
That's how it's supposed to be.
So I have another clip here, and let me play this. When he says, Ellie asked him, can him and Push ever reconcile? Here we go. Let's go.
No desire to.
Oh, hold on. Let's go back.
I
My
am
fault.
being. I have no desire to ever mend anything with that person, and
When he says name.
yeah, that situation just went. It just went where it went, and it's just there's no turning back. It's not like those other situations that you mentioned.
Did Pusha go too far by revealing the child and presenting that to the world?
He just goes into the first. What I played earlier.
I'll say this. I tip my hat to the chess move.
It's
I mean,
just
it was
what
a
I played
genius.
earlier.
It was a genius.
Yeah, so we're not gonna go into there. But the fact that he won't even mention Push's name. If I can quote Push, and y'all know me, I'm not the biggest Push T fan in the world, but Push had a line. What he said? The fear of God's in you motherfuckers. Like, come on, like you lost. Why are you taking this so personal?
You lost.
Drake is the type of guy that will holler at a chick, and when she said, "No, I'm not interested," he'd be like, "I ain't want your number anyway." You bitch. that's Drake. Drake is that nigga.
He's doing a light-skinned temper tantrum.
Like, yeah, that's all it is.
We tend to do that. We're used to being spoiled. He throws a temper tantrum.
Yeah, that's all it is. That's all it is. All right, so let's see what else we got here. Like I said, it's a good interview. We're not gonna go over the entire interview with y'all because I want y'all to go check it out. But it's a great interview, a very candid interview. Probably the best interview of 2019. He always talks about how he wanted to get Rihanna's approval before he worked with Chris, because he didn't want to offend her, which seems like a stand-up move. But I don't think it was necessary. But I get it. Very respectful move. So I'm cool with that. It's a dope interview, y'all. So make sure y'all go check it out. Like I said, it's available on YouTube, Rap Radar, all that good stuff. Shout out to Ellie and B Dot and all of them. Let's continue on the rundown. All right. So much has happened. It's the end of the year, y'all. So I wanted to get into, before we get out of here, I mean, not out of here for the show, I mean, for the year. The baby was arrested in Charlotte over, this was Christmas Eve, I believe it was, he was charged with weed possession and resisting arrest. He actually has video of all this. He posted, it just goes on to show how Southern police officers, and people don't think of Charlotte or North Carolina as Southern, but because the same thing I know about Virginia, it's not Southern, but it is. It's the same shit. My fault. That was funny. Listen, let's not be sneaky about it. Scan has to go. She's hard out. Because look, I knew the keys were coming, and you squeaking everywhere.
Listen, folks, and for me to have to fall off the couch
that
and
was
crawl
funny.
up to the floor.
That was funny.
That didn't work out. But,
So-
yeah, I gotta cut this. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see you. Scans out, y'all. She'll be back next year. You can get a lot of that. As Mike said, I'll see you next year. Shut the fuck up. But yeah, baby was arrested on Christmas Eve. And I think the baby's probably had one of the most successful years in hip hop, if you want to be honest with it. But he was arrested for weed possession and resisting arrest. The Charlotte Mecklenburg Police issued a citations. They got an anonymous tip about weed and firearms was in his car after he finished performing at a charity concert. Actually, at a charity concert in Charlotte. He went to Instagram and showed his wristband and jewelry in a plastic bag and said he was illegally searched and illegally arrested. It's a lot of stuff. You can go on the website or go online his Instagram and talk and see what he posted. But he was just hosting it's crazy, he was doing a charity event for the city, and that's what happened to him. That's crazy. Wouldn't let that man live. Now let's get into what before we get into that, a couple weeks ago, and I really want your opinion on this. A couple weeks ago, Andre 3000 did an interview with Rick Rubin on his podcast. Yeah, gotta forgive me, I don't know the name of Rubin's podcast. But he said he's not confident in making music anymore. He feels like in this era of music, it'd be criticized and dissected more than he wants it to be. And G, you're an artist. So do you sympathize or understand where he's coming from with that?
I definitely do. Ultimately, at some points, especially if you take a break or a hiatus or any time away, and you know, as we've seen this constant new waves, like the way music is now is nowhere how it used to be. Like, you know, it was time in between projects, it was time in between singles, promotions and everything. Now it's just like new artists pop up every other day. New projects come out every other day. So when you're not doing music on that level, and you're, for lack of a better way to say it, you're still operating off the old formula, you get to a point where you feel like if you're relevant or whether you can compete, if anybody even cares. So I think that's just something every artist goes through that takes time away from music, period, overall. I think the shocker was that it was 3 Stacks saying it, and for years everybody's been begging for a solo project for him. So it's kind of like a catch-22. It's just like he don't feel confident in music when the whole world is screaming, we want the music. So I think that's why that statement was just grabbed everybody's attention. But I mean, at the end of the day, as an artist, if you don't feel confident in what you're doing, first and foremost, you can't present it to other people. Like if you're not feeling it 100%, then you don't want anybody to hear it. It's one of those things.
Very true. But I think that is the kicker about it, is that everyone, like you said, they're clamoring for his music. People have rated Andre 3000 as some of their top favorite MC of all time. I know people that tell me that, like, hey, 3000 is my best. So to hear him say, hey, you probably will never get a solo or another, quote unquote, solo Andre 3000 project, and this is why. On one hand, it's discouraging, but again, going back to the Drake conversation, it makes him more human to me. Like, he's just like, hey man, I'm just not feeling it right now, and the way music is consumed, it just doesn't benefit me. Like, he has enough work out in the public right now, when you consider the Outkast projects that you can live off of. It's just kind of sad that we'll never get that 3000 project that everyone's been waiting for. You know, and for me, I've said this for years, I'll never put him in my top 5 without hearing a solo project from him. And I don't mean The Love Below. I want a solo album from him just because of that purpose. And that's just me. I said it before, I said it again. He's nice, but, you know, whatever. He says often, as he probably should, that Big Boy is a better rapper than he is. And of course, Big Boy said he's a better rapper, which is cool.
I think the thing that's so funny was even, you know, the fact that you know, he might not feel relevant with, you know, how music currently is. I honestly feel, regardless of what he put out, would change the climate of the culture. I feel like he's one of those artists that, regardless of what's going on in music, a project from him will change and redirect where music is going. I feel like he's that influential in the hip hop culture.
I think the caveat to that is, and I still look at The Machine, a project done his way, a solo project, of course, like not another Outkast project. Andre 3000 project done Andre 3000's way, because he still, I mean, the last thing we heard him on was with the Anderson .Paak joint, I think.
Yeah, when he dropped a verse on that.
Yeah, so he's still sharp, like he's still nice, and I'm sure he probably has songs unreleased that he just records for fun.
I promise you, I've said it before, I'll say it again. There is no hip-hop artist that I feel that is serious about their craft that doesn't have at least 2 bodies of work unreleased, that's recorded. Now, if we get into, like, songs or verses that they wrote that they never recorded, that's crazy. I literally, myself, have about definitely 2, maybe 3, just notebooks of songs and verses that I've never recorded. So I believe what he has that he hasn't put out, it's fucking ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous. Like, case in point, even a lot of people don't know that Kendrick Lamar and Prince did a song together that never got put out, but Kendrick Lamar performed it at when did he? I can't relate. They like literally performed it, but it never got like released for real. That's monumental. Like that's epic. You got a song with Prince. Like,
Exactly.
but it never got put out to the masses. Like, a lot of people don't know that. But I believe whatever 3 Stacks puts out is always going to catch the ear of hip hop, like of the culture. They always have their ears to the street and to the ground. To anytime he might pop up and do a verse or do an ad lib or his name gets brought up in anything, yeah, he's relevant. He's always going to be relevant.
I mean, especially how much this generation idolizes 3000. I think it would be, and also, devil's advocate for a second, he could be trolling us. He could be saying all this and drop a project next month. I don't think he is, though. I take him for his word. But he could be trolling us. In this generation, you got to think about that. I take him at his word, though. I think he's serious. But he could very well just say, hey, I don't want to drop a project, such and such, blah, blah, blah. Bam, gotcha. I don't put nothing over it. You know what I'm saying? In this generation, you never know. It's a very Tekashi type move. Horrible segue. But it's just interesting to hear him, someone who is lauded as arguably the greatest MC of all time, say, hey, I'm not confident in this. And those choice of words, like, just the honesty in it. You know what I mean? He could have said, he could have gave us any excuse. They could say, well, why you know no album? Well, you know, record labels and this and this. He could have gave us anything. He could say, hey, man, I'm not confident in it. I'm not sure it'll hit. I'm not sure people would like my music the way I want them to. Which is dope. To me, it's dope that he said that. So he admitted that. Well, let's get into what I alluded to. And we're not going to stay long on this because it's kind of old news now. This guy, Officer Hernandez. Special Agent Hernandez. Special Agent Hernandez. I'm sorry. Let me correct that. For those who don't know, 2 weeks ago, last week, whatever, Tekashi 6ix9ine, Daniel Hernandez, otherwise known as Agent Hernandez for the FBI, was sentenced to 24 months in prison with time served. So with time served, he will basically be out of jail by July. I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Go right ahead.
Here you go. Something's going to happen to him in jail. He's not going to get out in July. There's going to be an accident or something, or when he gets out, we're not going to know. And he's going to go right back to working at the Pentagon, at the FBI desk. This is a movie. Y'all ever see? This is a movie. He is sentenced to jail, and while he's in jail, something's going to happen to him where they will release a report, oh, Tekashi was killed in jail, or something crazy like that, when in reality he wasn't. Or he'll get released in July, and we'll just not know what date. They're like, oh, he was already released like 3 weeks ago. And he'll disappear in obscurity.
You think so?
This whole thing has played out like a fucking movie. This whole shit. So it would not surprise me if that happens verbatim, and I'm gonna come back and tell y'all this is what happened. A lot of people say he's gonna serve jail time, then come back and start rapping again. I don't see that. I don't think he's gonna start rapping again. I don't. That doesn't make sense to me. Why would he? He's a cop.
I don't think it's going to be that extravagant. I literally think he's just going to get out and try to get back to doing music. It is going to be a whole bunch of interviews, a whole bunch of questions, and at some point, he's going to start making music and going to start hitting the charts.
See, I think, let's go into that, because I think that's a viable argument, because in today's society, people don't care about him being a snitch or whatever. But I just think someone would look to make a name off of him. If Tekashi comes out and starts making music and starts touring, his security budget's going to be crazy, because someone's going to say, well, hey, I'm the guy that shot Tekashi. You know what I'm saying?
But that's the thing. Is you don't he a snitch, he a rat.
Right.
Like, so it's not. You don't get no points for that. Like, that's what's supposed to happen. As fucked up as that sound, and I'm not advocating violence, or I don't. God forbid, I don't want that man to lose his life. But the real street code is like, alright, you caught the snitch. That's what's supposed to happen to him. So it's not like you took down a kingpin or no shit like that. Like, you ain't take down the plug, nigga.
But here's the thing.
You don't get points for doing what's supposed to be done.
But here's the thing. Remember, it's a different code now. Like, we know that from our era. But somebody may just want that clout. They just want that recognition. Just to go to some bloods and say, hey, I handled that problem for y'all. Because I think if he comes out, let's just play devil's advocate. Let's play this through. If he comes out and just says, "Hey, I'm going to start rapping again, or I'm going to be a regular person again,"
but the whole thing is to use the exact phrase that you just said. I handled that problem for y'all. The problem already happened. Nigga snitched.
Right.
Like that phrase goes before he testified. Like we know he turned state's evidence. Like. Everybody about to get indicted, so whoever take him out prior to, like, yo, I handled that for y'all.
That's true.
So nobody goes down. Like, it's too late for all of that shit. Like, at this point, it don't fucking matter what happened to him. Shit's over with. Shit's dead.
I can just see, and I know these kids, I know these young dudes. I can see somebody doing that, think with that thought process, saying, "Hey, I did this, so y'all should," they might want to be a blood. So they go to the blood and say, "Hey, I did this."
Idiot.
Oh yeah, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying they won't be. I'm just saying I can see it happen. I can see it happen. It's too big of a target.
Been done. There's no solving that. I ain't get them. It ain't happened prior to. There's no point in the aftermath.
It's just too big of a target. Now I can see him being smart enough to pay for security or whatever. But then you go overseas, or that doesn't last. We watch things on like Sammy the Bull Gravano and different mob stories where they wait years to get somebody. Like, remember back in '87, you snitched on me? Blah, you're dead. Mm-hmm. They do shit like that. So I don't see him coming back as a rapper because of that. Like, he can get out of jail and be a regular person. I don't see that either. But I don't see him rapping and going on tour, because his life is going to be threatened for the rest of his life.
I mean, I feel like regardless of what he does, to a certain degree, that's what's going to happen. But at the same token, like, you can't go work a regular 9 to 5 with a big ass 6'9" tattooed on the side of your face.
This is true.
Like, that doesn't work. Like, you're limited in your options at this point. So, but sad to say, the code of ethics as we know them don't exist in today's generation with the music. So he'll literally be able to come out and get back to business, and then, I mean, case in point, it's already the little narrative joint with Angie Martinez set up when he come out. Like, he already has, I'm pretty sure he has a whole rollout or schedule when he gets out, as far as interviews and touring and stating his side and all of that. That's going to be a whole nother year of just him telling his side of the story with his own words.
But I can't see him rapping that same style, because his rap was so aggressive because he had 1,000 blood niggas behind him. He don't have them no more. He has him.
Oh no! Now it's repentive rap. It's repentive rap. You heard it here first.
Repentive rap.
It's repentive rap. It's basically through the situation that I've been through, I understand the errors of my ways, and I'm not advocating this, I'm not advocating that. I want to put out music that's more positive and do this for the community. It's that song and dance.
That's funny.
It's Kanye West being religious.
Oh, that's the perfect analogy. I'm interested to see how it folds. I know, in my personal opinion, how it's going to happen for Special Agent Hernandez. I just want to see how it flows out. Because I kind of told y'all this was going to happen before it happened. I told y'all this. Listen to last year's podcast. I told y'all all these things. So, Special Agent Hernandez, we're on to you. Stay away from me. Don't come to something in the water. Wouldn't it be hilarious if there's something in the water? Nah, you wouldn't be out by then. Let's see.
You wouldn't get booked for that shit.
Yeah, nobody's touching him. I'm curious to see what he does, because I'm just curious to see what he does. It's going to be something to watch. Now, I don't want him to succeed, because I think, I said that. I think if you do the crime, you do the time. If you're man enough to do what you did to get in trouble, you should be man enough to take the credit. You snitch on somebody, then you deserve everything that comes to you. That's my opinion. That's my philosophy. But it's going to be interesting to watch. I'll say that. Now, I want to get into, it's the end of the year. The end of the year, you'll see a lot of lists, and we're going to do our own next show of the top albums of the year. Well, it's also the end of the decade. So a lot of people have put out their top albums of the decade. And I think, who's this? Rap Caviar, who's on Spotify, for those who don't know, put out their list, and I wanted to go over some of their selections here for their top 10 albums of the decade. Hip-hop albums, anyway. Number 10 is Chance the Rapper with Acid Rap. 9, YG, My Crazy Life. 8, Nipsey Hussle, Victory Lap. 7, Travis Scott, Astro World. 6, Future, Dirty Sprite 2. 5, Rick Ross, Teflon Don. 4, Drake, Nothing Was the Same. 3, Kendrick Lamar, Damn. 2, Kendrick Lamar, Good Kid, Mad City. And I'm seeing this so many places, so I'm going to go ahead and say the unanimous pick for the number 1 album of the 2010s, Kanye West, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. I don't agree with that album being the top 10 album of the decade, but I can't think of anything else right now. But this list here that I just went over here, what? And it's such a broad, it's a decade, so it's a lot. But is there anything you would take off or replace?
Hold on, because I'm my bad. I lost my place. I'm looking for the list again.
Okay, you guys scroll all the way up.
Huh?
Shit. You gotta scroll all the way up. It's all the way up in the chat. We have a group chat, y'all. For me, I was listening to another podcast. Go ahead. You got it?
Nah, shit.
I got it. No, I'm gonna repost. I'm gonna share it again. So I listened to another podcast, and some people have actually said Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy is maybe the best album in hip hop history. And I just want everyone to understand, while that is a great album, and this is a hot take from Wade, heard it here first, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy is nothing but the East Coast version of 2001. Dr. Dre's 2001. That's all it is. Relax. That's all it is. I would add To Pimp a Butterfly to this list. You got Good Kid, Mad City. You got Damn. I wasn't really, and I guess my whole issue with Future, I said before, I think my piss is too clean to be really in the Future. So I would take Future off Dirty Sprite 2, which was a good album. But as the top 10 album of the decade, I would remove that.
From the list, number 1, number 6, and number 9 wouldn't be on mine. And that's just a personal thing. Like I either don't rock with the artist or didn't rock with the project.
Right.
Not even showing favoritism. Like I have to agree with you. Like I was To Pimp a Butterfly not on there. Like everything Kendrick dropped should be on there. Truthfully.
Exactly. And I would put that.
I'm really shocked it's not any J. Cole placement on here at all.
That's true. That's true as well.
But the thing that's gonna fuck with a lot of people about what I'm about to say is because it's just, hey, some people just not gonna feel the way it is. It is what it is. I want to know if they put Nipsey on the list because he deserved it or because he passed.
That's always the thing with Nipsey. From now on, you're going to wonder that at this point. Now, I will say to our credit, we had Victory Lap on our list last year before he passed.
Oh yeah.
So we can.
It was Victory Lap. Victory Lap was. It is a hell of a fucking album.
It is.
It's a hell of a fucking album.
It is. So we can definitely say that, hey, we were on Victory Lap early.
The only thing me and you differed about was the placement between 1 and 2 of the year. That's the only thing we differed on.
Matter of fact, I still have that saved there. Let me go to our last year's listing here. You have Victory Lap as the number 1 album last year.
It was between him and J-Rock.
Yeah, yep, exactly. You had Victory Lap number 1. I had number 2. I had J-Rock number 1. You had number 2.
Right. Exactly.
So
that was the only difference.
Yeah, that's crazy. So yeah, we were on Victory Lap and Nipsey a while ago. So we can actually say this from an honest opinion. But that's going to be something.
He is definitely in the top 7 of the decade. It was a phenomenal album. I'm still gonna give J-Rock his credit.
Yeah.
It might not have made it top 10 of the decade, but definitely an honorable mention.
Yeah.
Everything else on the list.
And also, if we're talking about the decade, you don't have any Drake albums on the list?
You said who?
Any Drake albums on the list?
No, Drake's on there. Drake's on number 4.
Oh yeah, nothing was saying. That's right. Okay, yeah, I'm good.
It's a solid list. I will say that it's a very solid list. But again, 1, 6, and 9, Kanye, Future, and YG wouldn't be on mine because again, I either don't rock with the artist or I don't rock with the project.
Now, I'll have My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy on the list, just not the number 1 album of the decade. And a lot of people where they're naturally going to ask, okay, so what would you have as the number one album? I don't know yet, but I don't think that's it. I gotta really look, and I'm not gonna give y'all a top albums of the decade. That's too much work. We'll give y'all our top 5 of 2019, hopefully next week. Hopefully. And speaking of which, Barack Obama literally just released his top favorite movies of 2019. Some of the movies he mentioned, Booksmart, Ford vs. Ferrari, The Irishman, Parasite. He also has a quick list of TV shows that he considered as powerful as movies. Watchmen was one of them, and Unbelievable. It's on his Instagram. Go check it out. You know, our president forever, Barack Obama. President forever. Like, there's something that struck me, G, and I put this in the chat, and I thought this was interesting. It's like a trivia question, I think. This is going down as a trivia question. So I'm going to pose it to the Uncut Nation as a trivia question. Who is the first and only solo rapper in history to go number one with an album totally arranged and produced by themselves? A lot of y'all wondering. A lot of y'all gonna say J. Cole probably. But
come on, you said who was?
The first and only solo rapper in history to go number one on Billboard with an album was produced and arranged entirely alone. I know a lot of people hear this gonna say J. Cole.
Tyler the Creator.
Yeah, it's Tyler. You don't think about Tyler, and I hate that album Igor was put as a rap album because he didn't. I don't think he rapped on the entire album.
He didn't rap.
It's an album from a rapper, but I hate that it's put as a rap album.
It's not a rap album.
Yeah, I hate that because if you look at a lot of people's lists for their top rap albums of 2019, they put Igor listed, and I'm like, that's not a rap album at all.
It's not at all. At all.
So stop putting that on your list.
That was the initial shot when I was listening to it. I was waiting for the nigga to rap.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, well, he's not rapping on this one.
Yeah, he's not rapping. I mean, it's a good album, but he's not rapping at all, like at all. And also, you know, this time of the year, Jay-Z releases a playlist on Tidal. And a lot of people, and we've said this before last year, a lot of people think making Jay-Z's playlist is almost bigger than winning any award. Because, I mean, you know, Hov is checking you out.
To me, and I hate to be that guy, but it's like, this started happening after Barack was doing his.
Yeah.
Anyway, I mean, he does own a streaming site, so it perfectly makes sense.
Yeah, and the playlist is longer than it was last year. I want to say last year's maybe like 19, 20 songs. This year's
this shit like 40. Yeah. It's the longest spot.
Yeah, I'm not going over all these songs, but some of the highlights. Heart on Ice by Rod Wave. If you're not up on Rod Wave, go check him out. It's a real soulful dude. Let's see, Highest in the Room, of course, by Travis Scott. Earthquake, Tyler the Creator. He has The Baby up here like 3 times. With
The Baby crushed.
Yeah, the Baby had a great 2019.
Yeah, The Baby crushed. Like, he did what the fuck he was supposed to do.
Yeah. Snow Allegra's listed. Rick Ross and Drake, both their songs on Gold Roses and Money in the Grave. He has followed. Yeah, Cole. Middle Child's listed. Follow God by Kanye West. A bunch of.
Let's see. Cheaper Lee.
Yeah. Megan Thee Stallion.
I don't know if you already said it. Couldn't really hear you. Meg.
Yeah, Meg.
Smoke.
It's a lengthy list. Of course, you can go on Tidal and hear their entire playlist. And a lot of people, of course, it's like its own award. You know, Jay-Z's looking at you, the God himself. Pause. is looking at you. So it's a good look for Jay to say, "Hey, you're my favorite song of the year." It's a good look.
Yep.
And normally this is a part of the show where I turn it over to Scan for her song of the week. But Scan, like I said, she had a hard out pause. So she had to get out of here. So, G, what do you have streaming for us?
Let's see. This week, G Herbo Sessions, Travis Scott and Jack Boys. I think the project is called Jack Boys. Cameron, Purple Haze 2. Rod Wave, Ghetto Gospel. Romeo Miller, Hidden Treasures. Doughboy, Streets Need Me 2. And I don't even know how to pronounce his first name. Malik Souls. Less Cap, More Trap.
I like that title. I like that. I'm telling y'all now, I'm on this early. So when he blows up next year, say you heard it here first. Go listen to that Rod Wave project. It's a good project.
You said who?
Rod Wave. That's
yeah.
I like that kid. It's nice. Go check out that project. That's it for us. I feel like we're ending it so early because we don't have like the song or anything else. Next week we will give y'all our top albums of 2019, like we did last year. And I think that's it for next week's show. Make sure you follow us online, Instagram, of course, WordsWithWade.com. Follow Words with Wade on all social media platforms. Follow G, follow Scan, follow me. Follow our YouTube page. I need to upload the videos. Have a bunch of videos I'm going to upload real soon. We're waiting for one video to be finished being edited. I think that's it. Anything else, G, before we get out of here?
That's it for me.
All right, so I want to say Happy New Year to everybody rocking with us for the last year. We actually, it's funny, G, I was just thinking about this on the way here. We switched to this studio at the beginning of last year. So we had a full year at this studio. So it's feels good to be home.
It's been a dope year.
Yeah, it's been a good year. It's been an interesting year. I'll admit to making some mistakes.
Shout out to Just.
My guy Just behind the boards. Shout out to Ari.
Yeah, shout out to Just. Shout out to Inner City Kids. Appreciate y'all having us in the house.
Shout out to everybody who made this show what it was. We couldn't do it without y'all. And hopefully next year, bigger and better things. So for G, for Scan, for me, as always, you may agree with everything we say. You may not agree with everything we say.
Okay.
But one thing you can agree with.
What's that?
We keep it uncut.
Uncut?
Until next time. No. Until next year. We catch you on the internet.
Shit.
Cheer.